Test, test. Are we here? All right, I think we are. So, sorry for the technical difficulties, but we are ready to get this thing underway. So, while we get the runners underway, Joe, why don't you tell us about this matchup a little bit?
All right. Well, we got Makarov versus Apache. This is definitely an anticipated race. As I'll get more into that as we get started. Which, of course, again, thanks for being patient with us. We appreciate it, as well as shout outs to Roy and Chuza for coming to our aid for these technical hiccups. And we are about to get started right now.
Let's look at.
So, let's see. Apache, really good runner, pretty steady. I mean, now of course he got rapid fire as a common tool now, as I just now have gotten used to it myself last week.
Disable a rapid
Makarov
fire.
also getting familiar with the rapid fire, and he's been improving his times every week, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my god, look at these trainer names. Oh my god, I need to figure out how to do that. It's one of the things I wanted to do last week, but I had just gotten rapid fire up and running. I didn't want to fiddle with it at the last minute.
Yeah,
I just love the creativity with the trainer name memes.
I can understand why Makarov is scared. Apache is an old school runner in his own right. He's got the better time. He's got the better record in league. But Makarov is improving quite a bit in league. So he has a real chance tonight to make some noise and really catapult himself into the playoff picture. He's a few points behind the 8th spot right now. And if he gets a win tonight, that could be huge. It looks like both of them getting a standard right side Olga to start with. This is ideally what you want in a race situation, just a lot easier than dealing with the left side loop and all that fun jazz.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty even right now. I mean, even with Makarov's speed being slightly ahead. Okay, although Olga going to the back will cost Apache a couple seconds, but if there's anything about, running VE, a few seconds lead is not really nothing, but it's not enough. Like as a racer, to have that comfort space.
Enable a rapid fire.
So
both of them having trouble just exiting the deck. Makarov went over Olga's body. Apache just got stuck on a box going for the dab drop. So a little shaky navigational deck for both.
Oh, I bet you it was. I noticed this too when I was testing out rapid fire, was that if you actually have the rapid fire turbo enabled and you hold a direction and then hold your square button, it'll actually lock your character in place. So I bet you that's what he was trying to do. There's also other little quirky things you could do with that, but at this point, Makarov with the early start getting into the engine room, which I would anticipate they probably might go the so-called 1974 strat, unless someone wants to be gutsy and do the swag strat.
I think Makarov does swag strat, and yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to do the swag strat where he shoots the guard's radio when he drops down in front of him. You'll eventually get caught by attack team guards at the end, and then you'll be able to skip a cutscene since you're in intrusion mode, basically. Apache's going to do the 1974 style and just eat the cutscene. So about a second difference. If Makarov executes this successfully, then he'll be out in front a little more. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm just refreshing my feed so I can catch up, but it's
very beautiful sensor by Makarov. Apache hit it on the high end of the sensor. That's risky. Like, that is really risky going for the top part of that sensor. So 2 Monka S sensors for both.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if we've had the engine room get blown up so far in the league. I know we've had the 1-2 connecting bridge blown up, and it was actually a race with Makarov and Tino, if I recall correctly. They both blew up the bridge, and Mayu and I we were just awe-shocked with just like, yeah, we can't believe what we were seeing. Like not only a first blow-up bridge, but 2 blow-up bridges.
Yeah, I think it was commentator's curse. So, yeah,
It is the real thing. Trust me.
it is. It is. But coming up to guard rush, let's see how these two fare. Ideally, you want to USP all of them so the guards die quicker, their animations are quicker. Good start for Makarov. This is ideal. Apache struggling, didn't get the guard in the back, and another guard went away. This is huge for Makarov to start with. All kinds of trouble for Apache. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Apache's out, but that's significant early.
Fire.
But we got the holds to deal with, and I'm just going to shut up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could, maybe take the risk of commentator's curse here,
Disable
but
rapid fire.
guard rush, although you're not fighting as many, I mean, it could be very easy to lose time in it, as you've just seen. And Makarov, what are you doing? God, that was so close.
Really
So
scary.
Makarov now just getting through hold 1. Apache also going for the flick shot, done a little bit nicer than how Makarov did. I think he just paused it to either play it safe. Going with the hold up
Enable a
method and
rapid
hold
fire.
2. Apache
Disable a rapid fire.
probably going to do the same thing.
Yeah, he does
Yep.
not like domino strat, I know that. But yeah, 2 clean holds for both, thankfully, uneventful. Barring some weird pictures, they should be out of tanker, no problem.
Crowd going for
start.
the 2 spot, and then Apache probably going to go for the 3 spot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got a little close to that guard, almost brushed up against him.
I was about to say that was a little close for my liking,
fire.
but whatever gets the job done. But so far, early advantage to Makarov, and quite frankly, it's actually a little bit surprising. But then again, I mean, it's VE. I mean, anything could happen.
Yeah, Makarov last week got a super low 104, like I think it was an 02. He is right on the cusp of a 103. He's within 30 seconds of Apache's PB. So, for all intents and purposes, these are pretty even players to this point. Makarov has come a long way in this league, and he is proving that he's making a late charge. Could not have started any better for Makarov, really. So, but it's still early. Anything can happen.
Yeah, because as much as getting a lead like this is great, whenever I run VE, it's like, all roads lead into the plant. And while it sets a good tempo for a race, but there's lots and lots of things in the plant to look forward to. But then again, I mean, there's been some tight races before. I've been a part of one of them, which was against Apache. Our times in PB were very close, and our finish times were also just as close. And we've actually had a tiebreaker, which was against Apache and Tino. Where we got to see our first ever first tiebreaker Tinker IL matchup, which is part of the league rules that in the event of a tie, both runners will go through a Tinker IL, and the winner of that will actually come away with the win. So you'll hear this disabling, enabling rapid fire quite a bit, or some other noises depending on how it's configured. That's just the game system message saying, hey, you're turning on rapid fire.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is Tino's going to be on the channel tonight. You just wait.
Enable a rapid fire.
Talk about funny noises, you will hear some out of him. So
I was actually informed yesterday what that was, and it was pretty funny, but I can understand why you're giving that disclaimer now.
Rapid fire.
Yep. Makarov opting not to go prone. He probably didn't feel good about his cartwheel, opted not to go prone. It's faster than failing to go prone. Apache's just going to go right up to the fence and go prone there, not even going to do a cartwheel. So safety stuff early on, but it's early. It's before bomb disposal, not much to do.
It's basically a race up to strut C, and was that like a third extra cartwheel Apache did there? Or was that just me? Maybe it was like a late second one.
Disable a rapid fire.
I didn't see. I was looking away. But Makarov wise to unequip the M9 before entering the Pliskin cutscene. If you end the tanker on USP, you can quick equip the M9 when you obtain it on the roof or in the docks. If you unequip it before Pliskin, you can quick equip it again after Stillman for a menu optimization. I think I just tongue twisted myself, so I'm just gonna shut up now.
I was about to say that sounded quite a mouthful, and it's
Yeah, it's 3 hours of science and a whole bunch of gobbledygook for about 0.3 of time save. So yeah, welcome to VE, everybody.
You know, I mean, with a category as optimized as this, I mean, you know, while it's funny to say that now, I mean, it's gotten to that point where every bit of time save matters. Let's see. But yes, at this point, both are just making their way over to Stillman and equipping and unequipping the M9. Both in the tanker and in this part of the run, we'll just allow you to re-equip the weapon later. Um, and then it's just, from here, it really will just kind of begin with bomb defusal. There's two ways of going about bomb defusal. There's the standard clockwise method, which you will make your way over to strut D first. Then there's the counterclockwise method, which involves a conveyor belt glitch, warping across shell 1 twice. And it gives you a slight advantage over a clockwise routed run, assuming the conveyor belt glitch is done perfectly both times. It just allows you to do part of the bomb defusal warp using the conveyor belt room in strut E, and then you do it again to warp yourself over to strut A to get up to the rooftop elevator to disable to defuse the last bomb a little bit faster.
Disable a rapid fire.
Yeah, both of these guys going for the old school non-conveyor belt strat, which is generally more consistent than conveyor belt. Both of them opting to use the M9 throughout the route. So pretty clean strut Ds for both. Makarov still maintains a fair lead.
I mean, just kind of eyeballing it, it's probably like at least like half a room, like 10, 12 seconds, which, I mean, yeah, it's significant. But the one remarkable thing about this category, which it took me time to realize it, is like how important movement is. And, you know, sometimes you may be behind in a situation like this, but, you know, your opponent's mistakes in cartwheels or movement can eventually add up to you gaining time back.
Yeah, every little thing is huge on VE.
Disable a rapid fire.
One bad cartwheel can feel like just a huge weight just got like dropped on your head. It's just demoralizing.
Okay, I thought that almost looked like he was a little far away from that bomb, but he was just within range. Apache's going to be doing the same thing. Okay, so he's definitely closer, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, Makarov is playing really well to start with. Very good pace. Couple sketchy cartwheels early, but let's see what he does on EF if he opts for safety strats, if he tries to pick up a mine, damage cancel a mine. There's a bunch of stuff you can do on this bridge. We'll see. I think Apache's just going to avoid the mine for now, but that could be wrong. He picked it up last week.
Rapid fire.
And Makarov's going to pick it up. Ooh, that was clean. He did the analog version too.
Enable a rapid
Man,
fire.
I wasn't even paying attention to that part of it, but just that pickup timing was very. Oh no, Apache! Oh, he detonated it.
Rapid fire.
Oh, I respect him for trying it, but he detonated the one before the other one that I think he meant to pick up. So now he's going to be out not only on the time loss for tripping that mine, but he's going to lose that mine for shell 1. If you were intending to do the Claymore strat for acquiring the D mic in B2 of shell 1 core, so he may just have to opt to do it conventionally.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Makarov just making his way over to strut A, so quick turn of events.
I mean, that's another 3-4 seconds for Makarov. I think Apache does the older strat anyway. I don't think he's adopted the Claymore, so it really doesn't matter too much for him, and he doesn't have to worry about picking it up like on the way back, so still, you don't want to get blown up by that. That's just time loss. Makarov gets the bomb right away, so didn't have to readjust or anything. Very, very clean. Strut A.
Yeah, you'll notice that he stood in a very specific spot while in the pump room. You just want to get right into be hugging that right, like, greenish pipe. Even half a step over to the left is enough to not be able
Enable
to,
rapid
touch
fire.
the bomb with the coolant spray. While at the same time you're standing slightly back of the white painted line on the floor. It just gives you just the sweet spot to defuse it quickly without having to go all the way around.
Disable a rapid
And
fire.
then at the same time, you're seeing both doing this coolant rise, which is when you're equipping, standing up, and unequipping the coolant spray again to just bypass the, I guess, like ascension animation. Just, might seem like it's
Enable a
quick
rapid
time save
fire.
here and there, but it does add up just like everything
Disable
else.
a rapid fire.
But so far for
Enable a rapid
Makarov,
fire.
he's now just getting to his last bomb in strut B. Apache now entering strut B, so still a pretty significant lead. It'll be interesting to see how things
Disable a
will
rapid
pan
fire.
out from here up to Fortune. Fortune is definitely a fight, for me personally, can definitely affect a lead for both good and bad reasons. Mostly bad reasons.
Enable a
Which is
rapid
AKA don't move when you start the fight, or make sure your rapid fire is turned off when you start that fight, which was the
Disable a
mistake I
rapid
made when I
fire.
was racing you last week.
Yeah, if you have turbo on to start that fight, you have to do a
Enable a
specific
rapid
punch buffer,
fire.
which we'll mention here in a minute. If you move at all on accident, you
Disable a
could screw up
rapid
the whole
fire.
fight and lose 10, 20, 30 seconds, depending on what Fortune decides to do. You put a lot of RNG back
Enable
into
a
that
rapid fire.
fight if you screw up the initial punch buffer. But I don't. We shouldn't see anything quirky stuff out of these two. Up until Fat Man, that's where you could see things either tighten up or separate even more for Makarov. But I'm impressed. I'm very impressed by the start for Makarov.
Yeah, and then you'll notice that they acquired Sensor B last, when in
Disable
other
a rapid
cases
fire.
you may see the sensor acquired first, then disarming the bomb in the bathroom of Strut C. I believe this was done during the VE tournament that we had back in the summer, where it was done by King of the Bees, and D-Limes, I believe, he tested
Enable a rapid
like
fire.
how bees did that, and were able to figure out like a somewhat of a significant time save.
Yeah, it saves at most a second if you do it in the order we do it now. But I saw him do it. I'm just like, huh, why? And then I just wanted to time him, and then I freaked out that it was a time save. But small, but it matters in VE. Like we've said, every little thing matters.
Enable a rapid fire.
And they are just heading their way down to the docks again to defuse one more bomb and then start Fortune. Makarov already at the elevator. Apache just getting to the roof. So the gap right now is about
Disable a
15-ish
rapid
seconds
fire.
or so. It's a fair amount, but one fight can reverse this.
Yeah, I was just responding to our backstage peanut gallery. But anyways,
Enable a rapid
it's
fire.
there's still plenty of VE to cover with this, and then
Enable a rapid fire.
Makarov now just getting to the final bomb underneath the sub.
Disable a rapid
The
fire.
thing about the bombs, especially if you're either running this on New Game Plus or
Enable
Plus
rapid
Plus, the
fire.
bomb is always underneath the sub. Apache also going for it, and interesting. I thought it was a little far away from that, but hey, if
Disable
it
a
works,
rapid
it works.
And neither of them got in the water, and if you
That
accidentally
is
go in the
important.
water, you lose a few
Oh,
seconds.
dude, that was so close. Man, I always get nervous when I get that close to that line, where the water is, and then having to walk away from it. But now we begin the Fortune fight, which is definitely far from an auto-scroller, as some might believe. You do this very specific punch buffer 3 times to the right, you crouch down, and it's meant to get Fortune to blow up the forklift as soon as possible. Why the forklift? Well, the fight requires that forklift, as well as the 2 golden barrels. Also, some of the wooden boxes up front need to be destroyed in order for the fight to be over. I know, it's just a casualty of the fight, but this is meant to minimize any idle time that we can get with Fortune, either by her walking around, getting extra dialogue, and what you're seeing on Apache's screen here is she's trying to get Fortune to blow up those barrels, since those 2 golden barrels in the room can only be destroyed by her gun, and it's must be something special with those barrels, because I think Potonic tested it on a dev save where you have every weapon despite where you are, and it just could not be done. It's just requires that extra bit of firepower, but Makarov just getting done with his fortune fight. Apache soon to follow.
Yeah,
Both done very nicely.
It was a little Monka-esque at the midway part of the fight for Makarov. His health was getting to a dangerous area, but he managed it well. Beautiful chaff grenade pickup there as well.
Oh, that damage
Good
cancel.
stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it happens to me all the time whenever it's on race day. I don't intend to do it, but it just happens.
Clean from Apache as well. 2 beautiful chaff pickups.
Enable a rapid fire.
See, interesting. He took the shot on that guard from that far away on the FA connecting bridge for Makarov. You can actually just stay on the, I guess, like, you know, lower side of the bridge, and then the guard will just turn away from you anyway.
Yeah, sometimes I shoot. I mean, it really doesn't matter what you do. I thought Makarov was going to go pick up the mine that he already picked up, but no, he's just doing a cartwheel. Apache blew his up earlier so he can just run.
Yeah, I mean, the awareness is definitely important to have, you know, throughout a run like this, especially when, you know, the unfortunate things happen, such as, you know, when, you know, you lose a mine for, you know, reasons like that, and then have to improvise, not only when you come back, but for the Shell 1 core later. So Makarov opted for the M9 early. Apache did not, so I'm anticipating he's going to go for a SOCOM lethal finish. Makarov...
I think he's going to go for SOCOM because his menus are set up for SOCOM. He doesn't have the M9 on.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's
yeah,
very
he's
hard
doing the
to
new
do.
SOCOM setup. Yep. This is consistent. It's way less risky with a lead that he has, and this is looking good so far. Ooh, bad RNG.
So he went down and, down and away. Oh, and he turned on him.
Yeah. And a slow bomb to end the fight, too. So, yeah, not super great, but let's see if Apache can gain time.
Let's see. Apache also doing the revised SOCOM strat, defusing the bomb after he knocks him over once, getting better RNG pathing, and he gets the fast bomb. So, slightly better Fatman fight for Apache. But still holding a lead. The lead.
Holding a league, right.
Yes,
we are holding a league.
I was reading your caveat about refreshing my feed.
Yeah. But
yeah, only on MGS2, folks, will I say dumb stuff like that. You know, just like the trademarked PGS1.
Yep.
Yep.
The weapon of choice. But yeah, this is still good for Mac. He still has a pretty sizable lead as we head into the RNG section of the game, which is where is Richard Ames.
Yeah, Ames is he's a unique guy, you know. I mean, especially you know, with regards to where he is when you enter the B1 core. But both are going to be tasked with acquiring the D mic first.
And Makarov used the D-pad like a smart, intelligent human being.
I'll just agree to disagree on that one.
Same with Apache. These are 2 Class A runners because they use D-pad on this bridge. Never use analog. It is dumb.
Analogers for life.
Disable rapid fire.
It's like, you may delete my messages, but you cannot kick me off this VoIP. Oh, wait, you can.
Well, I could, but that wouldn't be very professional, so...
yeah, it's just, I don't know. I prefer the analog. I know it's wrong, but I do it anyway until such a time comes when I need to change. But what I was about to say before our, you know, banter was the thing about the AK is it's, you know, if you forget to acquire it in Strut F, the game is like, hey, we'll give you an AK in the supply closet in Shell 1, which is only on very easy where you can find it. Maybe it was just a complimentary to, you know, it's like, hey, you know what? If you had a bad day, we'll give you an AK for free. Somebody just left theirs behind. Makarov doing the Claymore strat, and wait, what are you doing? Shoot the guard already.
Yeah, if you do this strat, you really should shoot the guard early. There's no point to wait and risk it. But what Makarov did there was lay a Claymore down. That way he could keep the elevator open while the attack team was investigating.
He little
rapid
little
fire.
turnaround mix-up trying to get out of the elevator.
Yeah, and Apache planted on the stairs, tried to do a cartwheel and
Enable
fell,
rapid
but
fire.
all right. Where's Ames? Makarov up first.
I'm gonna say southeast as a guess. Which is about that is Ames's location in the core when you're on
He's
a New
doing
Game Plus or New
he's
Game
doing the
Plus
pause
Plus.
buffer. He's doing the pause buffer, which in this game, if you pause, it stops the in-game timer. And if you do that, you can kind of preview around the room and see where he's
Oh,
at.
he got northwest. That is the
But
worst spawn. But he did
Disable
pause
rapid-
buffer, so
enable
that'll
rapid
help
fire.
balance it out. Patchy
Pa-
on the other hand.
Northwest. Really bad aims and no pause
Wow.
buffer. So they both had Northwest, but Makarov, since he gutted West early, had the better aims overall as far as time. So that's a win for Makarov. It's going to look like it tightened up because Makarov paused, but Makarov actually increased his lead with that because we go to in-game score for everything at the end.
Disable a rapid
Yeah,
fire.
but I guess, for either one, it's, aims can definitely help influence some pacing or even, losing
Enable
time.
a rapid fire.
But, there's still a pretty hefty obstacle coming up, which is not only the Shell 1-2 connecting bridge, but the Harrier fight itself. But what I was about to say was Ames' location on New Game Plus or New Game Plus Plus, doesn't really matter which one. His location in the core is randomized every time. And dude, he planted on the stairs. He was trying to do the the swag cartwheel up those steps. So that's another couple seconds back to Apache.
Apache did get the
did it
cartwheel though,
correctly.
so very good.
Very
Yep,
nicely
so
done.
that's about a 3-second swing.
Man, here we haven't even gotten to the Harrier yet, and then it's just we're trading time gains or time losses like every other minute. That's just the
Yep.
beauty of VE.
Yeah, I believe both of these folks will go for the 5+1 Harrier, 5 shots at the start, and then you get a +1 as he's flying over. Should be a little easier to execute if you're on Turbo, which both of these are. But we've seen so many issues with Harrier. It's not as free as you think for most, so a lot can
Disable a
happen in this
rapid
fight.
fire.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's just trying to go with a 5+1 strat and then having the 5th shot miss, or if it does connect, it won't give you the high damage that you want for a quick finish. Is Makarov doing the?
Yes, he did.
Oh man, I really don't get that strat. I know Platonic says it saves frames, but I feel like you're just risking getting punched or kicked by a guard when you do that. But it does look cool when you get it. I'll admit.
It's really good swag, but now the sensors, which are often overlooked. You can lose time here. You can make
Disable a
mistakes
rapid
here.
fire.
Makarov opting to go for the Cypher first. It's going to take it safe. Very good.
Yeah, you could actually use the turbo to spray that first Cypher sensor, but it is very, very
Enable a
risky.
rapid fire.
Makarov
Apache
clean.
Also playing it safe.
And Apache clean as well. So 2 good sensors.
All right, no bridges blown up this race.
Disable a rapid fire.
So
All right.
now for Harrier.
1, 2, 3, 4. You get the 5th. 5th with high damage.
Very nice. Apache on his end, going 1,
Oh, that's gonna be
2,
low
3,
damage.
4, 5.
Oh, it doesn't even hit. This is
Oh,
huge for
no!
Makarov.
Oh no, dude!
Oh, Makarov's lead on the die shots.
What is going on?
Oh my god.
Oh, dude. And then Apache on his die shots. Does he time it right? And he does for 1, 2 hits.
But Apache's still going to have 2 shots left minimum. So Makarov ends the fight. This is still going to be better for Makarov, but man, it could have been a huge lead.
Oh my goodness, dude. I was on the edge of my seat for that one.
Oh, and he misses the flyover.
Disable
Apache.
rapid fire.
Oh no! Oh.
It's
Okay.
still nice cartwheel for Makarov. It's still a net gain for
Rapid
Makarov,
fire.
despite missing that one shot that cost him about 14 seconds. But Monka S, Harrier ain't free at any shot.
Dude,
Oh
I
my
don't even
god.
recall like even thinking like Harrier was ever a free fight. Like I'm just scared to death of that fight every round, no matter how many times I've done it. But oh man, dude, that was
Uh,
definitely a nail biter, but
Disable
definitely
rapid
advantage to
fire.
Makarov. But still anybody's race. I mean, we keep saying that, but I mean
yeah,
there is truth to it.
Enable a rapid
it's
fire.
still it's still semi-significant.
Disable a rapid fire.
Remember, Makarov paused because of aim, so it looks smaller than what it is. Add about 10 seconds to whatever you see, maybe 5 seconds. It's still
Enable
going to take a
rapid
bit.
fire.
Like, Apache needs a mistake from Makarov at this point. We'll see if either one opts for swim glitch. I mean, the metrics say with this kind of a lead, you don't go for swim glitch, but
Disable a rapid
I
fire.
don't know. We'll see. I mean, do you put it away now or do you just wait?
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to, I guess, a few things. Either comfort level with executing the glitch,
Enable a rapid
on the
fire.
spot when needed. Other times it's just being strategical. Like Dean Limes was saying, if you know you have the lead and you know what your opponent is capable of, regardless of with or without the glitch, you make the decision ahead of time when you go in.
Disable
But
rapid fire.
honestly, I would not be surprised if we saw a swim glitch out of both of them. I don't know if Apache does it regularly. I know Makarov was practicing it before the race, but then again, he could have to play it safe just
Yeah,
to kind of keep his lead that he has now with the pause buffer that he did.
I will say Apache has been doing it as of late because of with Turbo and all that. He's done it in his last couple races, and he's going to have to do it now unless there's some big mistake. Both are capable, but yeah, I think Apache should go for it. I do not think Makarov should go for it, but wow, we'll see.
Yeah,
Cheesy
I mean,
little Nikita
especially
pickup.
with
Oh,
the.
he didn't get the
Oh,
analog. It didn't do the
oh
flick
no!
thing. So
Oh,
that's
dude, I had that happen to me, dude. I absolutely detest that. You have to flick the analog stick like either up or down, like after you pick up the Nikita, and it'll make Raiden spin 180 underwater. Meanwhile, Apache does get it, so that's what it looks like. But
yeah.
that's a few more seconds back to Apache. But again,
This is why that is a trash thing to do. I just pick it up and just manually turn because I've screwed that up so many times.
yeah. But I guess on another note or separate note is when I was racing Platonic, the right analog stick was actually rather the troublesome curse that we have whenever the two of us race each other in Makarov. It was a little bit of time trying to get up on that little ledge there. But yeah, so like when Platonic and I were racing, his right analog stick and the settings, I guess just caused him to get stuck in a loop underwater. I felt so bad for him. But I am definitely up for rematching with him. All technical issues aside.
All right, two clean uh what's it called? Circuit panels from them. So we'll see. We will see for swim glitch. I think we'll see one. I'd be very surprised to see it out of Makarov.
I mean, what's happened now? There's not that much of a lead anymore. And honestly, you can almost see both of them playing it safe. If one of them is kind of keeping tabs on what the other's up to or where they're at.
I
Um,
think the numbers say that Apache really has to go for it. You just again, I go back to the pause. Makarov's a little more ahead than what you think, so it's tighter. But I still think you can't, like, you need to go for it if you're Apache. Like I don't see any other way.
yeah, I mean, even if he's not aware that he pause buffered in the core, I think he just has to go for it anyway. That's probably what I would do. Which then again, I go for it anyway. But in this case, I would
Makarov's
say the numbers.
shooting is SOCOM, which is something I do right before I do swim glitch, and he's doing it.
All right, there he goes. So let's see. He's going to do the fast setup. He's going
Not
to
the best start.
go.
It's okay though.
Okay,
So possible 2-cycle.
let's see. Apache is playing it safe.
Oh, Makarov screwed it up. Makarov should just abandon.
No! Dude, he skipped over. Oh no! Oh,
Abandon.
dude,
All right, he's abandoning it, but the lead is just flipped.
wow, just like that. Man,
If you
that
factor in the
is
pause, they're pretty much tied.
yeah. What
Just
this
like
is
that.
yeah. Welcome to VE, everybody. I mean, this is just through good, bad, and everything in between. It's just you never
Disable
know what to
enable rapid
expect out of
fire.
these, but it's I definitely been there, with or without the successful swim glitch. And like D-Lime's just saying, in order to really get an optimal, I guess, use out of executing the swim glitch, you want to get it as fast as possible by getting Rhino to go out of bounds on a one try, or we call a one cycle. It saves you a lot of time on the front end with some time lost on the back end, having to open up a door. Apache going for the turbo styled
Yep, very good.
spam
Very
does the
good.
stingers. Vamp is dead. Crab emoji. Just kidding. We'll see him again later. Spoilers.
Good vamp for
Makarov
Makarov as
doing,
well. Okay.
but
What
yeah.
is okay? What is with Apache and races? He's been involved in the two closest races, which one of them was a tie and had to go into overtime in league. Like, could we see something again tonight?
I don't know, man. I mean, the only other close match was against me, and we were
Eight
we were like 7
seconds.
seconds apart, or 8 seconds.
Yeah, like they're basically neck and neck right now. I keep referencing the pause. Like he probably paused for 7 or 8 seconds. It's about what the lead looks like it is, but I think they're tied. So man, oh man.
Yeah, I mean, without the data, meaning like life split data, if either one of them's using it, I mean, it really is a personal preference. Some people just turn it off just to not add more pressure. I tend to turn it on just to kind of keep track of where I should be. But yeah,
Enable a rapid
this
fire.
is definitely interesting. I did not anticipate. I anticipated some curveballs that would happen, but nothing like this. Like not even this close.
Yeah, the moral of the story is for Swim Glitch, if you get a rough start, then
Disable a
you just
rapid
abandon
fire.
early. Like you can't. Makarov just took too much time and just wasted time. He probably wasted an extra 6 or 7
Enable a
seconds
rapid fire.
deciding to abandon it, and that could very well make the difference.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is significant. I mean, there still is, a few obstacles left in the run. I mean, I guess like the big hurdles are, they're now behind us, but there's the sniping section, there's even little things between now and getting out of Shell 2, or for me, example, is when I was trying to do the Emma bump with trying to get Emma out of Shell 2, and she decided to lose her balance, fall on her back, go back into the room, and I had to go back and grab her a second time. Um, but I guess that's more of a me issue. I still hated that when that happened to me, but
Disable a rapid
but
fire.
there's Arsenal Gear Jugenum, which is legitimate. There's also Tengus. We've seen some, questionable rays in some league matches. So there's still some ground to cover. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's definitely
I'm.
looking like slight advantage to Apache, but it could be it could be tied for all we know. We just don't know.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, if this was a 30-second gap or so, yeah, there's not a whole lot left for the opponent to really gain. But when it's a close race like this, those segments, Tengu 1, 2, where there's not generally a lot of variance, all of a sudden become just huge. Like they're giant. So there's a ton left. Now there's not a lot up until we get into Arsenal Gear, but I mean, little stuff is now going to be magnified.
See, interesting. Apache's going up and over. I don't remember if there's actually really like a significant difference which way you go after you shoot that guard, but
It's like 0.2. If like you want to do what Makarov did, it's slightly faster. It's like a 0.2 difference. It's
no, Emma!
sketchy.
Oh, she spawned in the next room. Thank goodness, dude. I was
Yes.
flashbacking to my race last week. I was
Yeah,
like, please
sketchy
don't let
bump
this
for
happen
sure.
again.
And
Oh,
Makarov just did like a paperclip style bump, just really long. Not
yeah,
the
it just.
greatest of second bumps either, so that's some extra time for Apache.
Okay, I caught my breath again. I was just like, please don't let this happen again. Freaking Emma. But yeah, he did this really interesting like double bump, or tried to. But the whole idea with the Emma bump, like if you're unfamiliar, is you can push Emma through the door ever so carefully, and it allows to spawn in the next room slightly further ahead. You also move at normal
Enable a rapid
speed, not
fire.
this, slow boys having to hold her hand movement
Disable
that
a
you see
rapid
most of the
fire.
time. It saves, well, like a few seconds if you do it perfectly, including menus and your movement up to that. Um, but yeah, and just like that, we're now coming up to sniping, which is the not really the low point of the run, but things kind of slow down. You've just gone through, bomb defusal, shells one, shell two, kind of get a moment to breathe, reassess, or like me, I just draw
Enable a
artwork
rapid
on the
fire.
side of you know, the plant, smiley faces, T. Well, when it was relevant for a T event marathon that we had earlier this month. But the let's see, what's the word for it? I guess like the unique attribute for sniping section on very easy is that regardless of what stance you're in while using the PSG-1 sniper rifle, is that you will not get shaky aim, where you would have to then manage potassiumine, drugs, where it will just gain you that steady aim for a certain amount of time. But on very easy, you just gain it regardless of what you're doing. And at the same time, there are no claymore mines on any of the 3 water bridges that Emma is crossing over. There's
Makarov needs
also
to
not
pick
as
up ammo. He's out of ammo. He needs to pick it up. He needs to be
yeah.
aware
What's he
of this.
waiting for? I was about to
Okay, there
say
we go.
like
He's got it. He's got it.
he's
All right.
risking it. Okay, there he goes. Maybe he was listening in. But yeah, that's the one thing I try to be careful of, even with turbo, is like your ammo usage, especially with the sniper rifle, where it goes from a semi-auto to a retrofitted machine gun. All right, so Emma's getting over the first bridge without any big issues from Apache's end. Makarov just, getting done with his last few set of ciphers. So the nice thing about very easy, in addition to what I just said, was there's also not as many guards and ciphers. So there's a period of time when Emma makes it past the first bridge where there's not really enemies that spawn in, ciphers that fly in. It's a little bit of a break.
Yeah, you have essentially 2 90-second gaps where you're literally doing nothing throughout this section, and you don't have any Claymore mines to deal with either, like on the other difficulties. So in a tight race like this, it's kind of good just to kind of relax, catch your breath, kind of start to plan some stuff out for endgame. As Makarov draws a frowny face. I don't know why he's drawing a frowny face, maybe because of the swim glitch thing, but like he is in this. He is in this. There's no reason for him to be scared, like his life bar suggests. He's right there in it. It is basically anybody's ball game at this point, and he just needs to execute both of them. So both of them have done everything at the highest level. Both of them have also screwed up stuff before in late games. So anything can happen. Could even go into
Yeah.
overtime.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And of course, it is very easy to get discouraged in a race. It's just one of those things where it truly just does take the experience of racing to kind of, just regain your composure, recognize the mistakes, but try to just calculate, the pathway forward, not focus so much on, the things that, didn't go quite your way. But I guess while we're going through the rest of the Emma sniping auto scroller is, if you do find this segment too long, I mean, so do we, but there is a bounty out there for anybody that finds a significant skip, such as skipping this sniping section, the Solidus speech, heck, even the fortune fight if there's a way, but there is a bounty for $1,000. So if you happen to find that skip, share it. We would love to see it. I guess other promotional material. You can also check out our Twitter at MGS Runners. Shout outs to ApacheSmash for managing it. I also help him manage it as well as part of the social media team. But also shout outs to the social media team, because of the work and presentation that was done for the T Relay Marathon. There was lots of good things that came out of it, including some of the emotes. the graphic art, the Discord, and the Twitch channel logo that you're watching this race on was all done by our very talented group of social media team. So shout outs to you guys. And of course, I can't forget this, and you'll like this, D-Limes, but follow at ApacheSmash on Twitter.
That's always a good one. I do want to remind you guys, this is VE League presented by MGSR. It's an 11-week event. Everybody plays 10 games. We are in the second to last week of this league. We have 2 more matches tonight, and then we'll be going on a 2-week break for Christmas and New Year's. We'll return the first week of January. Tentatively, it's January 7th. We typically broadcast on Thursdays, but we're trying to do it where we have all the matches all on the same day. So we might be moving it to like the 9th on a Saturday. We'll see. We'll keep you updated in our Discord and Twitter and stuff. But this league is winding down, and we will have a playoff in January over a couple of weekends to determine a grand champion of this whole thing. So if you like close races, you like competitive races, and you like MGS2, you're in the right place. And as these two get ready for Vamp 2, let's see what they do. Apache ops for the Zoom. Turbo, done. Have a nice day.
Vamp is dead. Crab emoji.
I think Makarov is practicing tapping left a little bit. Much faster. No zoom at all. Super clean. That's going to be a second or so time gain.
Oh, he got it.
So very nice. But this next section here, got to be careful because you got a timer on the screen. You take a continue at any point, you go back to the beginning of the time section. So if you get shot on EF by a Cypher and die, you're going back to the start. That could be GG. So got to be careful. I think these two have
This is definitely not an area to take for granted when it comes back to making your way back to Shell 1. Apache getting the first Cypher up, very nicely done, as well as the second.
Yep, Apache's clear. Makarov got the first. Yep, plenty of ammo. And he's got the second as well. So they are clear into Arsenal gear for endgame.
Enable a rapid
this
fire.
Is still a tight race, and I guess another fun fact about that bridge when you come back. In other difficulties, the tiles that you lose when you first leave remain missing, whereas very easy just gives you a lifeline of, somebody just worked very hard to put those tiles back. I don't know who did it or how they did it, but you don't have to worry about missing tiles on the floor when you have to navigate your way back. You just take out the ciphers and just be on your way.
You know this fellow?
Wait a minute, have we seen these guys before?
You remember me?
I feel like I've seen one of them.
You've grown.
I don't remember. My memory sucks.
High concentration of cerebral implant.
Yeah, even though Apache's demonstrating the use of resisting the choking here with Turbo, you don't actually have to do anything here. It's just I guess makeshift tutorial on how to resist, because there is a segment where you do have to do it later, which is after Raise. But coming up is Jujena, where we've seen a lot of things happen, both good, bad, and sometimes the odd. But
yeah, there'll be a tricky, somewhat tricky cartwheel over a gap that you have to get. If you miss that, you lose a bare minimum of 11 seconds. If you miss it while on alert, you could be losing 20 or 30. So you got to be really careful, because there's a guard you're going to have to either punch or cartwheel into before cartwheeling over this gap. And it's paramount that you make the gap. So let's see what Apache does. Very important to answer this codec call first frame. Hold select as soon as you enter the room. That way you don't get spotted by this guard.
Rapid fire.
And then you answer the next codec as soon as you touch the second flight of stairs.
Enable a rapid fire. Disable a rapid fire.
So Apache is
he's
playing
going
it safe.
Going safe.
Interesting.
So it's gonna lose him 3 seconds.
And he
he
makes
got
the gap.
Very good.
Makarov going for the punch, and
okay, that was Monk-esque.
Works, but that was very
Got the gap.
Enable a
close.
rapid fire.
That's
If
a
that
time
cartwheel misses and you commit to that, that's a knockover and an alert, which will virtually, make it
Disable
next
a
to
rapid
impossible to
fire.
make that gap without being
Enable a
shot.
rapid fire.
But Both are in the ascending colon, and we still got a tight race. But then again, Makarov did pause buffer in the core, while Apache opted to play it safe, which is understandable.
Yeah,
It's a risky setup.
Yeah, apparently Apache's controller is eating his X input, which is the reason why he went for the safe Jejunum. He does have a little bit of a history with messing it up too, so out of Apache, I would expect him to go safe anyway. But it's time safe. Like it's tight. That's 2 or 3 seconds. That could be the difference. So and now we're just at our ultimate auto scroller. Swipe the sword once or stab. Starts a 45-second timer. The game just wants you to know that you know how to use the blade. So now we just have to chill out and wait, and then we get into true end game. Tengu 1, Tengu 2 Raise, and Solidus.
Yeah, the other thing you have to do as well is you have to stay in the upper half section of the hallway. I don't know what it is, but it's just like Snake he called dibs on that side of the hallway in a sudden colon. And if you go underneath him while waiting the 45-second timer, you can actually stay in there and lose time. I've actually lost PB pace because of it, because I was just screwing around one day and realized, hey, why am I still in here? And it's like, oh, yeah, that's because I crossed the forbidden line, apparently.
I lost early on in my speedrunning career. I lost world record at once. So
yeah, it's a place not to be underestimated. But here comes Tengu 1 for Apache, shortly followed by Makarov. Apache is going to stick left. Almost looked like it was going to go right, but no, he's sticking to left. So you're just using the AK, spray the Tengus down as soon as you see them, or at least the ones that are in your way, and you're a scar wheel there. Then you do a punch kick while laying up against the door while in first person, and the kick, if timed correctly when you release, will touch the door's loading zone in the next room. And now we're in Tengu 2.
This is now gigantic because there is variance in this fight depending on Snake, depending on your execution, depending on when the Tengu spawn. Like, this could be a 10-15 second variance depending. So this is a huge fight. Apache's having all sorts of trouble early on. A lot of guards are falling. Makarov having a much better time.
Yeah, so the idea here is you want to stand either in the upper half section, which we call the Bestwick setup, named after the person that did this, where you kind of stand in the upper half part of the room. It puts you on an angle, which gives you, I guess, like better like guard movement manipulation relative to where they jump over the railing, as well as better trajectory with the Stinger itself to kill them before they reach it. You could also stand in the middle of the room. It's certainly easier. The missile pathing can be sketchy at times, but
rapid fire.
Yeah, Apache is out. Yeah, that's. I don't know, man.
That's close. That's close. That's super close. This is real. And I just want to give a quick shout outs to Mac McD. Yes, races generally are fast.
Oh man, dude, I don't know what to. I don't know what to. Oh man, he's like, hey, listen here, mister. It's like I got a word to tell you.
The next race will be. We'll have a slow race next race. All right.
I mean, not by any coincidence that that Mac McD is going to be coming up after this race. Oh man, you gotta love the banter. I mean, it's why I love this community.
Yeah, right now we're at an auto score we would love to skip, aka bounty $1,000 people. 90 seconds of just waiting around for the speech. You can menu, you can do whatever you want here for 90 seconds. Just waiting for the Ray fight to start. So yeah, this is the ultimate section we would love to skip other than sniping. If we find a way to skip the Ray fight, I will hunt you all down and cry. So, because I'd love the Ray fight.
I mean, the Ray fight is like another home for you. It's just, it's one of the things that you just love doing, and even like when you were trying to optimize it. All right, so here comes the race. So Apache going for...
Oh, that's late. Okay, he got it. It looked late.
Oh, it did look late, but it did connect.
Clean, just barely.
And Makarov also out, dude. I don't know about you, but that gave me a heart attack seeing that.
The Arsenal AI
Man,
is
if
corrupted
this
beyond
holds
repair.
through
I
Solidus,
admit
it's
that I
gonna be a
underestimated you.
sweaty credits. All races,
Disable a
we
rapid
watch the
fire.
credits to get the score screen, and that is the official score. Barring
I'll
something
squeeze the
drastic of
answers out of you
Solidus,
instead,
we're
my
not gonna know.
son.
I mean, and Solidus definitely has another big influence, like, the Fat Man and Harrier fights where, sometimes times gets lost in either phase one or phase two of the fight. I know Apache has been scolded by you, apparently, for doing the "Don't Stand by the Edge" meme, which is actually become an emote.
If he does it here, I will go off. I will literally go off if he gets close to the edge in a tight race like this. I will
No,
hunt him down.
I mean, I know I like to meme him every races. I know Apache does as well,
Oh,
but if he's watching, I don't think he would do it. I don't think he even entertained the thought of doing it, even though he knows we're commentating and you're watching. And I know I support him in his response of the one race where it's like, "Hey, man, I'm just having some fun." But in
man.
this case, yeah, the fun's kind of gotta have to get put on hold because we're one fight away from either finding out who's gonna win or
Disable a
if this is
rapid
possibly
fire.
another tiebreaker. But
All right.
here we go. Oh, missing the first hit, but still does get the knockdown.
That's faster
Makarov.
from Makarov, just a touch.
Let's see, and then baiting out the next set of missiles.
All right.
Okay, gets
Apache's
him
in a
together,
phase
man.
two. He's not close to the edge, but he's on that side. So,
Oh,
but I think he's got
Makarov
enough room.
is a little too close. He's gonna get a longer zip, so that's gonna also
Yep.
cost him a little bit.
About a second. So this is going to be tight.
Let's see. I'm imagining they're both gonna block. I don't think anyone wants to be gutsy enough to parry in a race this close. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
Apache's
Oh, but he did get the bad
going
RNG with the
Yep.
long combo.
Bad RNG
Makarov
for
also getting the
Makarov,
block, but he
but
gets.
people's elbow.
Oh.
Time for
All right, so
Apache.
Apache,
Enable a rapid fire.
and then
RNG. Good
time
RNG.
for
Time for
Makarov.
Makarov.
So
We don't know. We have no clue.
I don't know.
This is legitimately a good chance this ties. Oh my
I don't know,
god.
dude. I mean, this is
I
either going to be a close tiebreaker, an actual tiebreaker, which will be our second for the league, or another 7 to 8 second finish like when I raced Apache in the league, weeks ago.
like let me say this one more time. 6-second difference on the screen. There is variance between IGT RTAs depending on your computer load, stuff like that. And Makarov pause buffered at Ames. That's probably worth 5 or 6 seconds. Literally the gap we see on screen. We do not know until we get to the score screen.
Yeah, I don't even want to try to make any predictions here. It's just so close to call it. I mean, it's just we've seen early leads, changed leads, and then I just don't know. I really don't know. I mean,
I
they both
I
had same
I
Ames location, but he did pause buffer Makarov with the pause buffer,
I
so that could make up for that. But
uh,
I just don't
I
know,
don't know.
dude.
That's that's how I feel right now. So I have no clue. I have no clue. We're gonna try to get one or both of these in here. I told them they can come in here and banter if they wish. They may not. We have to mute the game audio for credits and song and DMCA blah blah blah. So
Oh, don't
oh
worry, we can cover it.
oh my
We'll just
god.
we'll just bust out the microphones that we got and just start singing it. I mean, they can't block us for that.
I mean, you can. All right, we have Apache with us. You have a flair for the dramatics. Like, what's up?
What up, boys?
Oh
I
my
just want
god.
to say that it was a really enjoyable race, and the only thing that matters in the end is that my favorite Doors song is "Riders on the Storm." There's a good
Oh
chance
man.
Mac wins this. Very good chance Mac wins this. I don't. My loads seemed really slow, particularly in the tanker. They felt slower than usual. You get a feel for how long the loading screen takes, don't you? Like you get used to it because it's always supposed to be the same, and they just felt off.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Makarov pause buffered.
Mm.
It probably would have been even on the screen RTA if it wasn't for that. He can have variance in certain things. Like I don't know. I really
I don't
don't.
know either. I genuinely don't know, but like at the
Yeah,
end
I
of
don't
the
know,
day,
man.
it was a good race, and as long as it was entertaining to watch, that's all well and good to me.
Like
That's all I care about. If
this was back and forth, pins and needles. Like there was just that from the Harriers to Makarov's botched swim glitch and just say screw it and like just so much stuff. Like oh my
when I was
god.
going to the swim glitch, like I knew he was ahead, and I knew I was in that range where he would have thought that I was going to do it, and he would have to do it. And I think that pressure is what threw him off. And I thought there's a good chance that he could mess it up, and I just need to swim and not worry about swim glitch, not worry about failing it. Just like if he gets it, he gets it. He's ahead. But
Yeah, I was
let's
saying on the
go for it.
broadcast, Mycroft shouldn't go for it. I thought you absolutely had to go for it, just based on the lead and the fact he pause buffered, so he had more of a lead. But yeah, prove me wrong.
There's benefits to playing safe. There really is benefits to playing
Yes,
safe.
I mean, and then you did safe to Genum, which I don't blame you in a close race like this. I mean, but it could be the difference. You don't know. Um, but either way, hats off to both of you guys. This was incredibly entertaining to watch. Um, from a standings perspective, Apache would clinch a playoff berth with a win. If Makarov wins this, he's right in the hunt for that eighth and final spot with three others. So this is ginormous for both.
Yeah, and that'd be cool to see as well. Like you know me, I'm not. I don't take a loss badly to anyone. I just love the game. I taught Mac on No Rookie when he first started learning this game, so it's really cool. If he beats me today, that's really cool to me.
Yep. Student beating the teacher. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, and it'd make a good tweet as well, which would get a lot of engagement, and that's important to me as well. Follow the MGSR Twitter, by the way, Metal Gear Speedrunners.
And follow @ApacheSmash on Twitter as well. Do
Lol.
it.
Lol.
If you insist, Chief, I'll go follow him right now.
But yeah, that was definitely an exciting race to watch. I mean, I felt like Apache. We've been in this position before.
Yeah.
With a race this close, and it definitely takes me back. But honestly, I really can't tell. It's going to be really close, unless if
Yeah,
like
who knows?
somebody's loads are off by a lot. But it's going to be close.
I remember a conversation where, because obviously, me and Limes, when we set up this league, we talked about various rules that we would have. And when we were talking about pause buffering, there was obviously a talk of whether or not it'd be legal in league, but we were like, no, speedrun.com rules. If it's legal in the run, it's legal in the race. And also, it would result in an interesting situation like this where you don't actually know. And
There you
so,
go. Yep.
it's awesome.
I mean, the way I look at the pause buffer is it's not a guarantee because it still depends on where Ames is, and if you're not given
You
that,
still got to
if you're
find
not
him.
given that like still shot where you can actually see him, then yeah, no harm done. But it's not a freebie either.
Mm.
Tino with the tier 1 subscription. Thank you, my dude, very, very much for subscribing to the channel.
I'm feeling hyped up, man. I'm commentating the next race as well, right? This is dope.
I think it's a three-way. I think we have 3 on
Oh,
comms.
we're doing it. Hell yes. Hell yes.
Yeah.
About time. About time.
Well, hey, wait, did
With
anybody
who?
me and Platonic and Apache.
Oh, that
Hey,
is gonna be
Platonic,
epic.
Platonic, did anybody consult you? You're coming the next race.
I mean, I've not asked him, but he should.
Okay, yeah, you're coming the
Press
next race.
one in the chat if Platonic guy should come the next race with me and Limes.
Well, I guess he's been voluntold to do comp,
Voluntold.
but I would
You've been
absolutely
voluntold.
love to see that.
I pressed 61. That's better. So
You know, I really wanted to play that codec. I went safe in Jejunum literally just because of my controller, by the way. My controller was dropping
yeah,
X inputs all the way through the race. There was multiple times where I tried to input an extra cartwheel and it just didn't come out. So I just didn't want any trouble there. For 4 seconds lost is always going to be better than 30 or whatever.
I
right.
was about to say, that might be a small trade, considering, the consequences of Jujena, but
Mm.
it
All right.
was.
Since you're
Couldn't
in the
trust my
VoIP,
controller.
don't announce your IGT. Don't react to it. I don't want to be
I,
spoiled.
yeah, I have no idea. I have
So
absolutely no idea.
I'm saying when you see your score screen because I have a delay.
Oh,
So
okay. I won't say anything.
yeah, I want to just wait. Oh, man. I don't know. I
Deficit
really,
of 6 seconds.
I
Ugh,
hope,
crazy.
I hope it's overtime. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, if it's overtime, I'm ready to do overtime. I'll do a tanker, sure.
Which one
I
other
mean, you've done one already. You
I
might
make off my
avoid
trash
makes
tanker
two.
before. I had the worst tanker ever, man.
one other thing to keep in mind, if we go into overtime and there's a tanker IL, the loser gets an extra point in the standings for forcing it into overtime. So
Mm,
there's extra
it's a
stuff
big
at
deal.
stake.
It's a big deal.
Dash with the tier 1 gift sub to Panzer. Thank you very much.
Regardless, Mac, regardless, just the fact that you're able to step up and like put such a good race together, like you're on the up, mate. You've not hit your peak yet. Just keep
Like,
at it, man.
he could have easily gotten rattled after the whole swim glitch thing, after missing the die shot at Harrier. Like, no, he stepped up, he played well the rest of the way, and he proved that he's 103, maybe 102 material.
Mhm.
So he can,
Agreed.
yeah.
Yeah, I
For
mean,
being
it's
so
like I said
young
at the
too.
beginning. It's like he's gotten better like just about every week we've had the league. So here we go, Dealheims.
All right,
I'm bracing.
here we go. I'll announce it as I see it.
All right, so time coming up for ApacheSmash, followed by Makarov. Will it be a close race? Will it be a tiebreaker? Will we be surprised? It'll be something else entirely. Time for
103,
Apache
54
for
for Apache and Makarov.
Makarov. 58.
Apache
Wow.
wins. Apache
Wow.
wins
That's a PB
by
for Makarov, by the
4
way. That's PB
seconds.
for Makarov. So like,
And that's a PB
every
for
credit, mate. It's
Makarov?
his first 103, right?
Wow, dude. I
Holy
mean, you know
shit.
what? I gotta give a round of applause to both of you guys, especially for Makarov for getting a PB with a race this tight. 4 seconds.
4 seconds. 4 seconds.
Insane.
I know
Just
that the pressure
squeaked
was
it
on,
out.
and he puts all kinds of pressure on himself as well. And I know, like, for him to get a 103 in a race where he feels it this much just shows you how far he can go, because he's been after a 103 for some time. I mean, his goal was top 10. His goal was a 103. Just keep smashing your goals, mate. You're doing amazing.
Yeah, definite hats off to him for sure. Gets his elusive 103, but Apache, again, this is like the 3rd or 4th race this league where he just squeaks it out by the skin of his teeth. So, but
I like to think I keep it interesting for the stream, man.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, it
you're an
definitely did.
entertainer. You're an entertainer. That's for sure. But we're gonna get set for the next race. It is Mac McD versus GoGo BMN. That should be a pretty good one. And we'll go to a quick intermission and we'll get you set up. So stick around, guys.